All right, guys, let's get into some Christian. I'm finally back from my. This is the first video after my ban, guys. How beautiful that I've made. It's so funny because people were saying on the videos I just posted that were from like a week ago. They were like, "Oh man, Papa Gut, you're back in fighting spirit." And I'm like, that was before I left. I don't know what you're talking about." But you know, let's do it. So Christian apparently is out of jail. They made bond. Whereabouts unknown. Okay, let's see what we got here.
It has been 603 days since Christian was placed in custody.
Whoa.
134 days since the last known communication from Chris. And 2 hours since I had any faith in humanity.
Oh, man.
Hello, my name is Gibby, and welcome to a video that...
Wow, what a nice gender-neutral picture with some gender-neutral colors.
I absolutely did not think I would be...
Man, Christian is 41? Oh, my God. Wow. I mean, let's be real. Kind of aged decently. All jokes aside, they aged somewhat decently. Or it. It's her. Sorry. Don't want to be phobic.
Recording this morning. As you can see on screen from the title of this video.
Damn, they got out on my birthday, dude. Oh my God. March 27th. That's my birthday. Wow, what a gift. They let Christian out of jail for my birthday.
We now know that Christian is no longer in jail.
Wow.
Just some
incredible.
quick things to remind you that this does not mean that he has gotten away free with his crimes. It means he has made bond. It means he is no longer being held in his cell. Another thing that we don't necessarily know is where Chris is currently going.
Well, for one, I'll say like I can see why they would put them out on bond or bail. I think bond and bail are the same. No, there's like a slight difference, but they're effectively the same. They're able to like go home. I kind of can see why. Like if we take a step back and we look at it more objectively, because what they did was disgusting. Let's just be absolutely real. Okay. But like as long as they're separated from the mother, they probably won't do anything again, considering how isolated the incident is. Because it's so weird, the whole situation. What, bro? Like this really. They honestly, unironically, should do a case study about Christian and like talk about it in school, like in schools, and teach people about like the negative impacts of like online bullying. And I'm not even kidding, because this is somebody with autism who was so relentlessly bullied that I think it had a pretty significant contributing factor to them doing what they did to their mother. Okay. And that doesn't excuse it. They still need to go to jail for it. They've passed the point of no return. But wow. Like, let's be real. When you have a situation where like every single interaction that you think is like developing a personal connection with somebody turns out to be a troll that just wants you to shove something up your ass and poop on it, it has a negative impact on your mental health. Let's be real. And I think especially with that, what was it, Isabella Janke or whatever? Like, oh yeah, your mom probably not helping somebody with autism, right? And like, you know, again, they need to be charged with something. But I mean, oh my Lord, we need to really have an educational conversation about how people who engage and troll people like this, they're part of the problem. Because I get it, it's funny to bully people with disabilities, ha ha ha, right? Not really funny. But like this is like if you were somebody who like relentlessly trolled them, all right? If you put on a pickle costume and went to the mall, you're part of the reason why Christian's mother got hurt. I'm not trying to be rude. But we have to really start talking more about like internet trolls really are that like they're not helping people. Like it's not helpful. It really isn't. So
this may not mean that he is free, that he was let go from jail and he can now walk and go wherever he wants. Maybe one of his buddies on the outside picked him up in a car like a movie and they sped off to a new home. But we don't know if that's true because it's very possible that Chris is still technically in the custody of the state. It's just that he's being transferred to some sort of halfway home. He's in some sort of...
Oh, okay. That makes even more sense. They're not in custody, but they're inside of a halfway house or some kind, well, a facility that's monitored by people. They're being monitored. Bail is the money the defendant must pay in order to get out of jail. A bond is posted on a defendant's behalf, usually by a bail bond company, to secure their... Okay, gotcha.
Mental illness institution. So just because Chris is no longer in jail, we do not know if he is quote-unquote free. We still do not know when Chris's trial is going to be. We don't know if he's even going to have a trial. It's possible that the charges might be dropped. One of the things that will happen sometimes if you're sent...
Papa, in prison, she wrote in notes that said her story is no different from Jesus and that she is the new Jesus Christ. Well, the long hair gives it away. I mean, like, listen, I'm not trying to be rude, but listen, man, I feel like we haven't had a Messiah in a long time. And the reason for that is maybe because people back in the day who said that they were the son of God, maybe they were going through their own struggle. We just didn't identify it. We didn't have our robust mental health structures. So maybe Christian is second coming of Jesus Christ. I don't know. I'm so sorry. Truly am, God. I'm so sorry.
Sentenced is that the judge will look at the amount of time that you've already spent in jail and they'll subtract that from your sentence. Okay. This is really all the information that we have. This information became available at around 11 a.m. Eastern time this morning. Multiple people on the Kiwi Farms have verified it, but at the same time, it's not like anyone has made contact with Chris. Chris has not posted on Twitter saying, "I'm back." Prater has not shot a short video of Chris and uploaded it to YouTube to prove that he's on the outside. Of course, we don't know if Chris would have a cell phone. We don't know if his first thought would be to...
I'm sorry. It's so weird. Because, like, Chris is a trans woman, right? And, like, I don't care. If you want to misgender the person, like, I mean, like, you shouldn't, but I don't really care. It's not like the hill I'm going to die on. But what I do find interesting, though...
Caden super chatted 99
Hey,
cents.
thank you so much for the donation, my brother. Or sister. Or this sister. What's interesting, though, is if you notice, when somebody is... intentionally misgendering a trans person, they use the word, like the pronoun more, like he it's just like constant, you know what I mean, where like somebody who doesn't have it in their head, you know what I mean. I've heard, like, I think there's word count on the word he has been like, 45 so far, and we're only 2 minutes in,
zoom to the public library to maybe upload it.
But maybe I'm just focusing on it. Maybe I'm the phobe.
Tweet. So, to be fair, it is expected that he wouldn't have made contact yet, but that might be happening in the next couple of days if he is...
Oh, people don't know for sure if they're in a halfway house, but people think it's because they haven't appeared on the internet. So then it's probably not a halfway house. It's probably a group home for people with intellectual and developmental disabilities, honestly.
Isn't actually in an institution. One other thing that's possibly interesting to note is that in his...
And it's probably one with other people who are, like... intense. There are some houses that are so intense, like I won't let my wife work there because she's a behavioral specialist. Blah 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 blah. We've heard it 1,000 times before. And I just like, you can't work there because especially the people, especially the men there, they can be a little bit violent and they can really hurt people.
His mugshot, Chris does not have a beard. The Prater's latest correspondence with a member of Kiwi Farms is that the reason that Redditor visiting Chris story is fake is because Chris should have a giant beard by now, but in this picture he is clean shaven. I find it extremely unlikely that they would have allowed Chris time to shave his face totally clean just so that he could leave. They're gonna gussy him up for the press. I think that's quite silly to assume.
Well, if they're in prison or jail or whatever it is, I imagine... they would still get afforded like basic amenities. That's the right word, right? Like
Caden super
soap,
chatted $1.99.
razors, yeah.
Shoot meant to say welcome back, but
oh, thank you so much. I appreciate that. Like razors and soap and hair lotion. What is that? Shampoo. So
maybe I'm wrong, so if you're more familiar with the jail system, please correct me in the comments, but I think that this might be some evidence against that Prater email. Okay. Obviously, this is big breaking news. If there are small updates over the next couple hours, I'm not going to be able to make a YouTube video, so you really should have followed me on Twitter at GIBI_Devin.
Okay.
I'm going to reiterate some of the things I was saying 2 years ago around the time of Chris's arrest, and that is to use your better judgment when you see headlines, tweets, or possibly edited images about what may or may not be real. Okay. A couple of days ago, it was reported on the news that there's a possibility that Donald Trump would be arrested. People made some AI art of police putting him in handcuffs and spread it online, and there were people...
You don't think there's razors in jail? I'm sure that people have the ability to shave. Like, I'm sure they figured it out, all right? Maybe they probably do have razors. Maybe they have to be watched when they're using it. Maybe they have the electric ones that you can't cut people with. Maybe they have barber. I'm pretty sure you can maintain a shaved look in prison, or else everybody would be having very long beards in prison, okay? So
people who believe that it was real. If there are people on Twitter who think that a AI image of Donald Trump being arrested is real, then it is very, very possible and likely that all the memers out there are going to be making some fake images about Chris Chan. Yeah. So even if
Call those weens, right? Low effort trolls. Hey, thank you so much, Barbarian Babe, for the 4 months up. King Gut, Jesus Christ, why are you giving me so much money? Thank you.
Something looks really, really, really real to your eye. The one question you should ask yourself is this too stupid to be real? What is the source of this claim? Has it been verified by multiple parties? Basically, speculate responsibly. I'm going to be completely honest, if this had happened on April 1st, I would not be making this video, because it is, in fact, too stupid to be real.
Damn.
Thank you for watching, and of course I will be covering this topic as news unfolds.
My only trusted Christian source, Gibby. Oh, on Gibby's Twitter, he said that they actually weren't released on bail, but it was a court order. Okay.
I want Papa Gut to pee on my face, but just as a friend. There's nothing weird about that. I want him to pee on my face.